Yada, I'm really angry.
And is that because I'm sad?
No.
Okay.
I'm angry because I'm hungry. I'm hungry.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Okay, so welcome to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Decker.
And I'm Ken Decker.
And we're excited because together we get to share techniques, thoughts, tools, tips, and tactics on how to make the most out of our real estate. And it's really stuff that we all need, we all deserve. You, I, everyone. So we can turn our house into a home where our families thrive and we live the best life possible. And so sad, angry, we're like all over the place. So what you're going to learn in this episode is that sometimes, especially when we're dealing with the big stressors in life, and one of them is real estate buying and selling, and it's usually accompanied with one of the others, that if we can get some language and some words to our emotions and our feelings, it can help us navigate with them.
Because like it or not, buying or selling tends to be an emotional decision.
Even the people that say it's not, it is. Because
they're in denial.
Right. And there'll be different degrees of emotion depending on whether you're somebody that primarily works from logic or somebody that primarily works from emotion. So it's not the same for everyone. I used to think, I wrap myself out. I do that a lot. When in the early days of real estate, I would tell people affinitive ways that would happen for them. Like everybody's going to have the feeling that this is the right house, until I met Mr. Engineer, who after 100 homes, it was 100 homes, never felt good about any house that we looked at, but the numbers worked, or it was the right checklist was filled out. The spreadsheet fulfilled properly finally. And so not everybody's going to be all gooey about the house they buy.
Gooey? Gooey. Is that a good term for emotions? A gooey. I feel a little gooey around this one.
Not everybody's going to have the same gushiness. How's that?
Gushy. Okay, another good word.
Okay.
Gushy and gooey. Ooh.
Okay. So the idea is to find words that help us to identify what's up for us. And also the idea is that we won't all feel it the same way. And that's okay.
I totally get that.
Okay. So even some of my words clearly are not resonating with Mr. Decker.
And, some of our clients really acknowledge the stress and the emotions that they're feeling, like recently one of my clients said they're not sleeping at night.
I know.
Their stomach is upset. They're not eating well. They're going to go see the doctor because they had no idea that the idea of selling their home that they're in, or even keeping it as a rental and buying another property.
That suits them now.
That suits them and suits where their children or her child wants to go to school, because they have big plans, and that emotion is eating at her. And so she's going to go to the doctor and get some help with it. And I think sometimes when we can put language to our emotions, that we're way further ahead about sharing them, controlling them. There's a saying that a burden shared is a burden halved. And if you can't put language to what's going on inside you, I think that's why sometimes our granddaughter would have temper tantrums, because she couldn't get the language to explain what she was feeling and just felt, trapped.
Trapped in her own being.
Yeah.
And that's an awful thing when it happens for one of our clients or for our grandkid for that matter. But it's even worse when you feel it in an adult, because I don't know about you, but I can often feel that it's happening for somebody, but how can you help them navigate it? And one of the books that we've been talking a lot about over the past 6-7 months is The Atlas of the Heart by Brené Brown. And one of the things in the survey that she did, surveyed thousands and thousands of people, and most people could only quickly name 3 core emotions: angry, sad, happy. That's why we demonstrated angry, sad at the beginning and then moved
Because
into
I really
happy.
wasn't angry. And Yetta told me, don't you dare smile while you're saying you're angry.
Which
that
is,
was tough to do a stern look.
Right, because typically Ken will say, I'm so mad, with a big smile on his face. That's really awesome. And in reality of our life, though, if the only thing we can be is happy, sad, and angry, that's not enough to help us identify what's going on for us when we're buying a home or selling a home or any other big stressor. Because when we're buying and selling, as I mentioned earlier, often we're also dealing with the birth of a baby, which is a great thing, except it's called sleeplessness and it's got lots of anxiety associated with it, whether it's in
or
the pregnancy
pregnant. Oh, it's
phase.
so fun to work with pregnant women to find a house because they're nesting. They want a place.
Yeah. Like I one family, I love them and they're now settled, which is great. But we looked for well over a year before they found something. But finally, she was pregnant. The baby was about to be born. And it was like, we have to know where we're going before this baby's born because she just needed to know. And so those stressors, being able to talk them out, giving them space to be what they are without getting fixated on them. It's not about getting sucked into the vortex, but it is about acknowledging what's coming up because this is life. Real estate is one of the most fascinating things that we could ever come alongside somebody to journey with because it's not just about the money. It's not just about the family. It's not just about a place to live. It's not just about our preferences. It's not just about our emotions. It's about all of it. Everything to do with life seems to be encompassed inside a real estate move, whether it's a buy or a sell. Mm-hmm. So if you're thinking, wow, you guys are stressing me out right now, a consult may be a great idea. Like, do you sell it or do you keep it? Like a seller consult.
Sell it all?
Right, that's what I said, sell it or keep it.
Yeah, but you could keep it and buy another property.
You could.
But I'm saying you might decide, I don't, I don't have the emotional capacity to move right now.
Then don't do it.
Because I'm, and sometimes the unfortunate part is sometimes people don't have the emotional capacity, but it's because the existing house is causing that and they have to move. It might be a financial stress. Mm-hmm. It might be a death of a family member. It might be a transfer to another city for your job. It might be financially because you've lost your job. Sometimes we have to stand side by side with people who are an emotional wreck, so to speak, and hold their hand.
And their heart.
Yeah,
because that's
gently.
really what needs to be held.
Yeah. And then help them through the transactional part to move them on to the next chapter of their life.
Yeah, because just because it's hard doesn't mean you don't have to navigate it. And so it is easier to navigate, though, when you can regulate the emotions, and it's easier to regulate the emotions when you can put words to them. So we don't want to be all gushy mushy, as Ken said, my favorite words there.
I think marshmallows, like those chocolate covered marshmallows that kind of gush and mush when you bite into them when you say that.
Okay. And yet it's part of the journey. It's part of the buying, selling, and investor journey. Even an investor goes through this stuff, right? Like it's not just the homeowner.
That's right. That's right. And we're so grateful that we get to be your advocates in moving forward together in wealth, wisdom, and worth.
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward